Hi, welcome to the latest video in our series of YouTube videos explaining some of the functionality on the Sage 200 system. This one is some new ones relating to hiding inactive accounts in the Sage 200 software, and is only applicable to the new version of Sage, which is Sage 200C. I'll just now start the demonstration. Okay, so what there's an ability now within the latest version 200C to hide inactive accounts that are no longer in use. It's applicable to sales ledger accounts, purchase ledger accounts, bank accounts, and also nominal accounts. So we'll start off with the sales ledger and purchase ledger, which are basically very much the same, obviously mirrors of each other. So the first thing we do is we go to the software. So I'll just open my software up. Then I'll go to the sales ledger. Then I'll pop onto the customer list. Okay, so all of the ones that we then see on this customer list are current accounts that are not hidden in our system. For instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide Abbey Retail. So in order to do that, all I do is highlight the account, excuse me, click Account Status, okay, we can see now there's a new drop-down box which says Active Status, currently says Active. So if I flag that to be hidden, okay, then I click Save. So this was Abbey Retail, we've done ABB001. Click Save, and then if I click Close, once that's finished. Okay, so if I now refresh that list, you'll see that Abbey will disappear from this list. Okay, so Abbey is now gone. What this also means is it's also hidden from other areas that use these lists to be able to do things. So things like entering a new sales order, posting an invoice, etc., customer receipt. So I'll just click Invoice just so we can test that. So I'll click Invoice. Okay, and I try and click on the drop down and you can see that Abbey has now disappeared from this list. So it was there previously, it's now disappeared. So there also are some others that I've hidden as well, which is BIR001, 2 and 3 as well. Okay, so that's when we're doing it in the sales ledger in the invoice option. Then I would go to say a sales order, which again I can either navigate across to sales order processing or I can run from this same option at the top of the screen. So if I just click clear there and click new sales order full, and I'm going to enter a sales order in, and again we'll get a customer drop down list option. And on this list, if I then click on the drop down, you can see that Abbey and also those other ones that I mentioned are not applicable and not visible on that list. So there's no way we can accidentally key an order in for somebody who doesn't exist in there. Just try keying the thing in. Okay, as soon as I type in the name, it doesn't find a match. Okay. So that's doing that on the sales ledger side. Okay, I'll just close that one off. If we then need to find out what other accounts we've got that are like that, we do have a report. So I'll just go into the menu. It's just Reports, Accounts Analysis, and Accounts Not Active is what the report is called. So we click on that one. On the options that come up, we just simply click OK once it appears. Okay, so I'll click OK, and that will then show me all the accounts that are in the sales ledger that have been hidden or made, so that's be inactive. Yep, so they have active status of hidden. So those are those accounts and the other ones that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so we wouldn't know that they existed in the system. Okay, to make those then, if we change our mind or something happens that's different with those. To bring those back, what we do is we have to go into the account status option. So now that we know that that account is missing, this is the only place where it actually will still appear. So if I click on the drop down there, the accounts that are hidden show up in here. So we can then see, so there's Abbey there, so I can choose those, and then if I click active, that'll then bring them back to be active again. I'll click save, click close, and then I'll click refresh again, and then Abbey should reappear in this list. Okay, and it now means that when I go back and try and do, say, an invoice, it's now able to choose Abbey as a valid customer for that. Okay, so there's Abbey appearing in there now, so I can go in and key an invoice in, send to projects, etc. as required. Similarly, if I do a sales order, then I can then choose Abbey on the drop-down list. And because I've got them hard in the list, it automatically selects them. But if I then click a drop-down, then you can see that Abby is now present in there, but the other three, the BIR 00, 2 and 3, are not visible and not available for selection in that drop-down list. Okay, so that's doing it on the sales ledger side. Okay, similarly, we have the same sort of option in the purchase ledger, again related to an active status drop-down. So I'll go to the suppliers list. Okay, I'll just choose, say, Atlas, click account status, and again I have the same drop down in the exact sort of same position to say this is now going to be hidden. I'll click save, click close, I'll refresh my list, and Atlas has now disappeared from our list. So again, if I try and key in, say, an invoice, okay, and I click the drop down, then Atlas is not present in this list. Similarly, I won't bother showing you, but in purchase orders it's the same sort of scenario. It's now been hidden and made inactive. We're not using that supplier anymore. Okay, so I'll click close there. Similarly, to reverse the effects is click to account status again. I can't do it with, I've got AB cookies highlighted. So I click there, I can click on the drop down and Atlas is there, but it's the only times that it's visible is in these account status ones. All the rest it's been hidden from. Click active and I'll click save. Okay, so I'll just flag it and make it inactive again. I'll make it hidden, should I say. Click close. So that's that one. So again, similar reporting here. Reports, accounts analysis, accounts not active. Can't remember if we had any other ones, so I thought I'd just check it again. So I'll click OK. You see now there, the only one in this company is actually that Atlas one that I've just made inactive. Okay, so I'll make it active again. So again, account status. Click on the drop down, choose the account. Make it active again. Click save. Click close. Again, refresh my list and it'll then reappear on there. Okay, so there's that one there. Okay, so basically very similar to how we do it in the sales ledger. Yep. The third area that has been made this inactive account stuff has been in the bank. So I'll go across to my cash book now. Go to cash book, bank accounts list. Okay, now with banks we don't have an active status, etc. with them. So what instead we do is we have the amend account option. So if I click amend account, okay, click on the drop down. So you can see I have actually got one that I've already hidden, which is bank account number 7. So if I just flick back and just drag that out of the way so you can see the others, you can see there are 6 banks visible and number 7 isn't visible. So what it is, to make them active stroke inactive, highlight the bank and you've just got this active status box at the top. Again, so if I make that active again now, click save, click close. And I'll just refresh the list. Okay, so we can see that bank account is now visible. Okay, so that's making a bank account active stroke inactive on drop downs, and again similarly if it's hidden, then if you're trying to record a sales receipt, a page payment, etc., all of these standard functions within the software, that account isn't available for selection. Okay, that's the bank accounts covered. The last one then is the nominal ledger. That's a new one currently. So we go into the nominal ledger. Okay, go to the nominal list. Okay, so I'll just choose, say, lease property that's got a current 0 balance on there. Okay, if I click in and say amend account, what we've got similar to the bank is we have a drop down box. Okay, to do with active status. Now currently that's greyed out, and the reason that is because this one, actually to make this become available, is actually controlled by a system key. So I'll just close that one off and we'll go down to the utilities. So it's under nominal ledger and utilities, ledger setup and then ledger settings. Okay, so what we have now is this new box, account selection. Restrict the account selection to existing and active accounts. Tick that box and then click OK. So now if I go back in and try and amend that account, we'll now see that there's now a drop down that's available on there. Okay, so it's now a drop down. It says active by default, so I can then set that to be hidden and click save. Click close, then if I click refresh. Okay, so that's no longer visible now as a valid nominal account for postings. Okay, so if I try and do, say, journal. Okay, you can see 03100 is no longer available in the drop down there. Yeah, as I say, to make that one come active again, then we just go into the amend account option. So you can either do it off this one at the top and it'll either choose the one you've got highlighted, or you can click clear and then it won't open one on the list. Or you can go off the left hand side in the nominal accounts area. So I'll just do it from the amend account option at the top. So I'll click amend account, click on the drop down, choose the account, and then I can make that active again, and then it'll be available for me to use in the future. Okay, if I have any accounts hidden in the list, then it won't let me untick that option. So in this ledger settings option, if I had some that were on hidden, it wouldn't allow me to untick that box. So just a warning for the future, once you have got some hidden, it won't allow you to remove that. But because I've now taken off my only one that was hidden, I should be able to click on that one, and then it's reverted back, so it's now no longer using that functionality. So there's no harm really in you activating that functionality. All it does then, it just basically makes the drop down box. So I just need to refresh my list to show my 03100 again. It just makes the drop down box become available and active rather than it being greyed out in the background. So if it's available there and it's got wording in it, that means we can actually do something and that system key is enabled. Okay, that concludes this session on the Sage 200C hiding accounts features. Hope this has been informative for you all.